You can access the entire episode now at rockfin.com/FKN+, or just click the link in the description to access the entire episode now.
What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the Forbidden Knowledge Hangout, where each and every one of us can define the word woman. Over to you, Chris.
Welcome, everyone. It's so good to see you. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for all our guests. We've got plenty more to come. They'll be trickling in and out tonight, throughout the night. We're just here to hang out. We're here to have a good time. That's what we do. That's what this show's about. So let's start with introductions. Let's just go around the room and introduce each other while waiting for our other guests to show up. Let's start with myself. Hi, I'm Chris Matthew. I am host of Forbidden Knowledge News and Forbidden Knowledge Network, and we have some wonderful podcasts that we feature there. And you know who the fuck I am, so let's move on to Corey.
All right, so I'm Corey Hughes, and I am smarter than a Supreme Court nominee. I can define a woman. It is an adult female. Boom! Where's my fucking lifelong job paying $250,000 a year?
I think you missed out on that one, like many of us have missed out, unfortunately. Mr. Wheezy, thank you for joining us again. Still waiting for that camera, but how are you doing? I hear that beer cracking open.
There you go.
Yeah.
God damn it. My name is Wheezy, and I am the host of the What is True podcast. Like and subscribe, goddammit. And I identify as a refrigerator with a 12-inch dong.
Fuck yeah. Hey, if you gotta identify as something, you know. And by the way, is that your intro?
Those are my pronouns.
Okay.
My pronouns.
So I saw a meme the other day. I don't know if it was from a real tweet, but it was allegedly from Donald Trump in 2018. And it said, "I now identify as a woman." Boom. First woman president. I don't know if it's real or not, but I laughed my ass off when I saw it.
That's great. All right. And finally, so far, we've got Mr. Ryan Burns from the Space Wolf Research. How you doing, Ryan?
Great, my man. Good to be here. Ryan Burns. I am involved with or affiliated with Hero Paranormal Podcast. Just kind of go into, you know, some weird corners of high strangeness. And I'm also way into, I guess it's my science project, the Uinta Basin of Utah and the high strangeness there. And that can be found at spacewolfresearch.com. And I'm all about weird, so I think I'm home. Yeah,
you're with definitely home. Yeah. And man, I think that's where I want to start tonight, especially me, because I love this stuff. What's been going on out there? Have you had any kind of new or strange experiences or phenomenon that you'd like to share with us that's been going down in the Uinta Basin?
So something has taken place.
Sweet.
And it's weird because, as you may or may not know, this Space Wolf Research got vaporized, like the 40-foot RV, the cabin, everything, by a quote unquote middle of a nice day, for lack of a better word. It wasn't torrential rainstorm or anything, but it just gets vaporized by what appeared to be a lightning bolt. So fast forward. Another researcher had his home burned down inexplicably. And now another researcher that I sold some land to, that he's doing research next to Space Wolf Research, he had his apartment burned down. And what's crazy, man, the pictures. So it was like a lath and plaster apartment, like an older, he's from the East Coast. And everything is burned on his side, inside, ceilings, walls, and floor, but nothing else. So it didn't damage any other apartment above, below, or around him. So luckily he wasn't there, but that's kind of the high strangeness that is most recent. But there's a bunch of other stuff. Yeah.
Okay, Ryan, you're going to have to catch me up on this stuff. I have not heard of any of this. What the fuck's going on?
Man, I don't know. Like, some people are saying it's direct. Well, I don't know. It's I sort of know. I sort of know like what's going on. So, the easy explanation is if you get too close to the fire, you get burned. And that's what I told him. And it seems that people who are able to like carve out a little niche and consistently go and observe this phenomenon, there's a small price to pay. And I don't know what that is, but it does seem that it harasses, or at least doesn't harm you, but it lets you know that, I say it, listen to me, this odd precognitive intelligence that seems to roam the landscape has the ability to seemingly come home with you and mess with your stuff. So that's the best I could tell the guy, because I can't do a better answer than that. I mean, I don't know. Weird stuff. And this is documented in the most recent book, Skinwalkers at the Pentagon. They have all kinds of high DOD guys that had all sorts of, well, everything happens. High strangeness, werewolves peeking around towards their houses. Great read, by the way. But yeah, this stuff happens, I guess. I don't know. With that, I'll take it away.
Your research center and your property is butted up like right near the Skinwalker Ranch property, right?
It's epic. Yeah, it's a great view.
God, that's crazy, and I'm definitely gonna come visit you out this summer during our road trip. We got to do that for sure. Man, that's crazy. So, you think you're being targeted by maybe like some 3-letter agencies type stuff?
You know, that would be the best case scenario, and I don't know that it is. But they're definitely keeping a watchful eye, I believe, at least diagnostically speaking, because I found out through some personnel, and this is super confidential, but they basically kind of told me, like, yeah, man, like you're reading about, anyway, yes, this stuff is happening, without going too deep. But the truth of the matter is, greater minds than myself, much more intelligent, basically say that when you interact with this phenomena, you give something, but you take something away. So I don't know what that means. Like, it takes something from you, you take something from it. So.
All right. Now, you said without going too deep. We're all about going deeper than deep. We want to shove our balls inside there. We want to go as far deep as possible with this show. So what do you think is going? I mean, I want to know your deepest, darkest thoughts about this stuff, nasty, dude. Charles. Let's get into it. Come on. What do you think is really happening here? If you can, I mean, if without risk of your life or anything, you know.
Well, that's the
thing. Is it just the tip, or is it full throttle?
Yeah, let's
That's
go.
what we want to know, Ryan.
This is so dirty, vulgar. Just, you know, when you're in like this, it's like you're full adult. Like, this is, yeah, it is skin on skin, or it ain't going in. And, as near as I can tell, like, this is raw and rugged and actually happening to a multitude of individuals, people involved with.
So is it alien? Is it demonic? Is it fucking weird humans dressing up in chicken soups with lube trying to freak people out? What's really going on, man?
Bro, that's the thing. It's all of the above. And
it's all, fuck yeah.
That, you know, it's just semantics. Like, a lot of people go down, you know, you could easily just go biblical on this and explain everything away in a biblical format, or you could go like super Middle Eastern on this, easily explain it away as a jinn, because that is like the catch-all phrase in the Middle East. And either of those would, you know, answer this. The Native American folklore also answers it very well. It's our science. It's our science that's ending up blowing itself, because we cannot reproduce, and I say we meaning humans, but let's just say that the United States and these areas of high interest that are being attacked scientifically, people are getting their butts handed to them scientifically. And the reality is, you have to interact with this in a way that it wants to interact, because it's holding all the chess pieces. It does not even have to play ball. It never has to come out of its shell. And so when this thing does interact, it's kind of one of those like aha moments where it's like, and that's why I love this gentleman that just is doing research next to me. Met him through Jeremy Corbell, has a super great reputation, and he is interested in interacting with these things through a quote unquote DMT technology, which is called an Anja lamp, which is this lamp that like flickers and stuff, and it reacts and mimics the reenacts and mimics the DMT experience that is usually only felt twice in a person's lifetime. This, you can literally flip a switch, turn on this lamp, and you either do have this experience or you don't. We're taking it up a notch. And I say we just because I'm nearby, but I'm not affiliated with him. But I am going to take it up a notch and do something a little bit different using something called a quote unquote God helmet. And that
yes,
is
I've heard of this.
For,
that thing's fucking crazy.
It's the bomb.
Dude, you are massaging the gooch of knowledge right now.
Okay, while we're paused here, and Wheezy gave us that great comment. Welcome, Legit Bat. How are you guys doing? Are you here, Legit Bat? Okay, they're not responding. I see the sweet cartoon of Jen's ass, though. That's all we see every time they show up, by the way, is just that Jen's ass in that cartoon. A great artist, by the way. All right, back to you, Ryan. This is fucking fantastic that we're getting deep into this stuff.
Yeah,
so what do you guys think, Corey, Wheezy? Any comments on this?
Dude, Jeremy Corbell. So you said you were working with him, or you're just a
oh no,
you're in touch with him?
I'm friends with him, but no, I met this who I consider a friend, this gentleman that I carved out a piece of this property I bought, and I gave him a section, and I said, "Do your thing, man. Like, do your thing." And so that's his land now, and he's just doing his thing, and he's doing that with the Anja lamp. So we're gonna do the God helmet, which helps like stroke victims. My mom was a stroke victim. I know a lot of other people who have benefited, but these things actually do work. And what it does is it like will activate portions of the brain. It literally is a helmet. You put it on and you look like a total dork, and it activates portions of the brain. What they're finding, however, is it's called the God helmet for a reason, because a very large number of the people who go under the God helmet or put it on interact with entities that are quote unquote godlike.
Now, Ryan, before you go too much further, the God helmet's like kind of like a sensory deprivation type of weird thing with what exactly is it? Because I've only seen it in a few type of paranormal documentaries and things.
Yeah, man, it's called so it like photobionically interacts with your nerve endings neurologically. So if you could like consider that we're like a computer, the CPU would be the brain, you know? And so what this thing does is it's like a nice and cozy little thing cover that goes over the CPU. It's so creepy when you think about it. And you can dial it in to where it will get more energy in certain areas than others. So it makes total sense that you can literally interact with entities that are seemingly not there, yet so many people are having this phenomenon take place that is literally called the God helmet. And that's where science can take a dump out the window, and I really don't care what it thinks, and results, in my opinion, go on the right-hand stack, and that, you know, continue to follow the patterns, because, you know, places like the Monroe Institute, unfortunately, to get into really deep science, you sort of have to do unscientific things, and they may be not the thing that most people are doing. In fact, I think, you know, the interaction that this gentleman had with his Anja lamp, which has furthered my research, like interacting with these things as friends instead of enemies, as he puts it, is super important, because you can get a lot more information out of a friend than you can out of an enemy. And not only that, these enemies can literally toast your butt. As you know, you can like be checking out a cattle mutilation, come home, and then a week later, like your right leg doesn't work. Like the craziest stuff happens, right? So you have to step carefully, no pun intended.
Man, okay, we've already gone way balls deep tonight. Welcome, everyone. Legit Bat, are you here yet? Are you here yet? I don't see you. I don't hear you. I just see Jen's ass staring at me. Okay, welcome, Brian. Is this Brian Murphy? I don't hear or see him either. Brian, yes. What's up, man? Welcome. How you doing?
Good. I can share my video sometimes, but I'll just kind of pop in and out.
Awesome, man. I appreciate you joining us. Since you are here and you can see you and hear you, tell the audience a little bit about yourself. I know you've been on Forbidden Knowledge News once, but introduce yourself a little bit.
Yeah. So, father of four, just another expression of source, unique expression. So I've been through a lot in my life, a lot of religious exploration. Those that know me know that I'll never stop learning. And, that's why I love this podcast and a lot of the guests and everyone else I've heard. I pretty much listen to everyone. Might be a few here and there I miss, but I'm pretty in the know with everything going on in the network.
Sweet, man. Well, thank you. Welcome, and thanks for joining us tonight. We're going to have a good time. Is Legit
Awesome.
Bat here yet? Can we do anything other than talk to Jen's ass? Okay, Legit Bat. We're going to forget about them. Just fucking chime in when y'all get here. All right, so what do we got going on, Corey, Wheezy? Werewolves, interdimensional beings, fucking Uintah Basin, we down? We're going for a trip there or what? Let's go.
Dude,
More of the government's trying to kill us guy. So,
They are.
Hey, they are, definitely, for sure.
Me and Corey might be the only ones that don't have any religious affiliations, if you will.
I've just been sitting here like in a complete state of shock all fucking week over the absolute goddamn ignorance of our fucking Supreme Court nominee. That's just what I've been obsessing over the last couple of days. She might be the dumbest fucking person ever to be nominated to the Supreme Court.
Yeah.
And I'm a little fucking nervous.
Well, that's on par for the people they put in front of the camera these days. They got to put crazy,
She like fucking
stupid
cuts
in there.
She gives pedophiles like 2 weeks in jail and shit. Like she's a complete activist piece of garbage.
Well, isn't that what happens also when you go for only the demographics?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
Oh yeah. So she gets nominated because she's a goddamn woman, and then she can't come up with a definition of a woman. I was like, what?
I'm not a biologist.
I still can't. I'm still like, it's not computing.
Well, you already know. It's the agenda. Like she doesn't want to get canceled too. She's afraid that her own people will turn on her too. Probably. They're
somebody in office like Mad Max, like with the spikes and everything. And if you don't like what they say, he just clubs you on the fucking head. That's what I want. No, I'm completely and totally for the I pray for the giant meteor. I think we're all fucked on a scale beyond fixing, and the only thing that can save us is a giant meteor to cleanse the planet and give us a chance 2 billion years from now when the next phase of evolution comes around.
Now, speaking of the giant meteor, I've been listening to a lot of people that are researching the Planet X thing recently, and that could, man, I'm coming back to it. It could be a thing. We could have something rogue, a big object, maybe not a planet, maybe a meteor, maybe something big headed towards us that they already know about. That's the whole reason they started COVID. That's the whole.
That's supposed to be on a cycle, right?
Yeah.
What's the cycle? Yeah. What is the cycle? Is it coming up soon?
It's like either 200,000 years or 20,000 years, or there's so many different cycles we could be looking at that could destroy the planet. But
I just remember at when we went to the conference in Nevada.
Yeah.
And Billy Carson did his presentation and talked about the dwarf planets and how really there's like 200 and something acknowledged dwarf planets in our fucking solar system. Yeah. And then a dwarf planet really just means they don't know what the fuck it is. It has nothing to do with size. It was like, wait a minute, what?
Yeah.
What about the fucking 9 planets in Pluto? They can't make their mind up on fucking Pluto. Like, yeah, nothing is as we are told.
All right, everybody. Does space exist? Can we go there? What's going on here?
Dude, I watched that documentary. I think Tripoli had what's his name?
Yes,
Bart Seigel.
I heard that today.
That was a great fucking
That was
show,
a great
bro.
episode. He got weird. Yeah.
If you guys don't know who he is, he created the documentary. A funny thing happened on the way to the moon,
yes.
And that is if you are on the fence about the moon landing, that is definitely a must watch. Same thing with American Moon.
But that was a mockumentary, wasn't it?
Yes. It was to a degree, but I think
wasn't the original sort of a mockumentary in a way?
Yeah, it was made to be like a kind of
the original
show, right?
is not holding up to the sniff test.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. But anything you see coming from, I mean, it's so obviously fake. I mean, Corey, you shared that video. I don't know if you have it ready to pull up, but I'd love to see that little fucking rover try
the rover,
push off,
our fucking
push off
favorite.
again. It's the best shit I've ever. Hold on, let me allow a screen share.
Oh, the
I
one
need
with the
to
digital
see.
sparks when it's
Yeah, it looks like it
the
looks
fuck
like
outta here,
it looks like a one of those poppers that you get with sequins and shit that pops out of it. It really, it's.
I've seen UFO videos, fake UFO videos that look better than this shit, man. That NASA was putting out.
But that's
It's
not.
so
That's
ridiculous.
just. That's only one of them. Like everything you see, the dude's floating in space. They'll have like a bug crawl across the window in the background or something. You know, it's like what the fuck? Or
Or
a
what about the
sparrow.
gopher
A
on
sparrow's
Mars?
flying by in the back. How does that happen?
Or
You know,
the sea
fuck.
on a rock, and then
Right.
later they fucking Photoshop it out.
Exactly. Why, if it's real, why do you have to fucking fake everything that we see about it?
Yeah.
What's going on, guys?
Exactly. Have you seen the footage of Elon Musk after they shoot the Tesla into space?
Oh, that's
'Cause that
awful.
makes so much sense.
Look at this, man.
Yeah, this is
Yeah,
great.
he's
This is a
explaining
joke.
why it looks so fake. Like, what? He's like, that's how you know it's real, man.
Yeah, that's it. That's how you know. I love this. It's like sparklers come out or something.
Oh my god.
It's fucking.
Yeah.
It's a beaut right here. Yeah. Happy 4th of July, everyone. And then like I don't know what's the invisible strings are pulling that fucking thing up.
It's a crane in the
And then-
Nevada
and then-
desert.
Yeah.
And then supposedly all the astronauts are in the damn ship. So who's recording this shit? Panning up to the object.
I know.
Yeah.
Oh,
And the funny thing is, like, these guys supposedly sat in a chair each, like with their
Yeah.
legs bent in a chair for
Look,
12
look at the
days.
camera work here.
it's
Zooming in.
obviously a human panning up, dude.
I don't know. It could be Space Hitler.
That was allegedly controlled from Houston, but there's no
Yeah.
delay on the camera. Give me a fucking break.
And
Well,
not
they-
only that, but then when
video.
when it takes off, it's like coming in and out into the lens, perfectly.
Why does it have
Right.
tinfoil on it? Like, what's with the gold tinfoil?
Dude, that's how you know it's real.
The tinfoil helps you get through the Van Allen belts. That's the only
Yeah.
thing.
Glass.
Fucking regular tinfoil.
Okay, that thing is only supposed to be 1/6 the weight on Earth, so it's still got to weigh fucking 700-800 pounds on the moon. Where's the goddamn blast coming out the bottom, right?
Yeah.
The equal and
Where's the
opposite
imprint?
reaction
Yeah.
thing.
I don't know,
Oh,
man,
it's-
but this is all.
Grab-
Where do you get gold tinfoil, dude? That's how you know
Exactly.
it's real.
Yeah,
I want
the
to get me
gold
some
tinfoil.
gold tinfoil and put that shit on my head. Then I'll put my face on the camera.
Oh, I'm gonna put
Gold
that on my
tinfoil.
rims. Everything.
I'll find the one of the when it docks. They have the video of the film of it docking.
I'd
It's
like
like,
to see
oh,
that.
it's the fucking,
Gay
it's
porn?
the worst.
Is that a gay porn?
Why do you know
docking?
that, huh?
Yeah,
Why
I
do you
don't
know that, Wheezy?
Well, you knew it too.
What's
You
going on
started laughing.
Yeah, be careful.
Oh, yeah, guys. I don't know. Hey, is Legit Bat here yet? Joe, is that you?
Hey, what's up?
Hey, Joe, what's up? What's going on, man? Is it just you joining us?
I think Jen's coming too. We just got done eating dinner. We jumped on when we could. Like I told you, we're on our fourth show of the day, so we're
Oh,
whoa.
man.
But Corey, good to see you. Chris, good to see you. Ryan, nice to meet you as well as Brian and Wheezy. Good to not
My
see
man.
you.
Okay,
Hey,
so
hey.
Wheezy can't
Chris
be on
has seen
camera
me.
because he's invisible. All right, he just didn't want to.
Chris has seen me. Chris knows me.
I don't know what you're talking
Chris
about,
knows I'm a
Weezy.
real person.
I've had instructions not to say anything, so fuck
Does
off.
he have
I
a
don't know what
third
you're
eye
talking
growing out
about.
of his forehead?
No, he knows me.
I might.
He just keep
I
in mind
might.
the secret.
I
Is
do.
All right, so
You can't appear in this interdimensional space.
this is the docking video.
Oh my
Listen.
god.
Yeah.
Are we about to see some big dig action? What's going on?
Docking. What? Docking?
Penis.
Yeah.
Some non-Jewish procedure.
This guy's a fag.
Yes, we're hoping to get kicked off of every platform tonight, by the way.
We hope so.
See how fake it looks? That's how you know it's real.
Well, it's supposed to be moving at 4,000 miles per hour at this point.
Oh yeah, it looks like it.
You
Yeah.
can follow that easily with the camera. That's easy. No biggie. 4,000.
This whole video is just a walking joke.
What do you think, Joe? Does space exist? I've heard some flat Earth motherfucking shows on Legit Bat Boy, and Those were some
Dude,
zingers.
we can
Watch
take
this.
it there. We
It's-
have some. Okay, we
It's
can
gonna
take it there.
turn. It's gonna turn. Watch these turns.
It's gonna turn. Holy, oh shit!
Oh,
Look at that. Oh god,
Homie
that
can
was
drift.
disappointing.
Now
What
it just
is-
changed direction. If you
No,
notice, it changed direction.
Oh, was that a picture it took of? It said, "I'm watching you."
it looked like a turd came out of it or something.
Or it was coming.
Not
Yeah.
seeing little blasters making it turn.
Dog.
Mm.
I don't know, man.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that looked like a
What's
space
that?
part to me.
Hey, legit, bat, your thing is backwards.
I know, dude. I don't know what's going on. I fucked my shit up earlier.
You got to click the
Uh-oh.
mirror image button. Watch. Look at this thing. Look at this. Look how stupid this is.
Wow.
It's gotta. It's got to show you its aerobatics.
Okay,
space.
so let's just say theoretically they could make it to the moon. There's no fucking way they could take off, dock, and then fucking head back to Earth. Period.
No, none of it. It's all horseshit.
All right.
Look, it just changed directions. Like, how is it doing that at 4,000 miles an hour?
That's really bad special effects.
So Wheezy,
right
you heard.
You'll
You heard.
you'll come to find out that like one of the they have like go-to items in the aerospace industry, and confidentially speaking, like I've personally seen this. One of the items on the list is this special duct tape, just to cover shit up, dude. Because, yeah, that's all it takes is this special duct tape, and I think it's personal and confidential information that I could be spewing here, but. Does space exist? There's probably something further than where these guys are heading. But as far as okay, I'm going to tell you a really quick story. I can't name names. I talked to this guy this week. He's legit,
Oh hell yeah.
and
Is he a bat?
this guy's legit. Lifts off grid, works for NASA, takes pictures. Okay, he takes pictures to analyze the similarities between NASA and Earth so that he can analyze and diagnose these lava tubes that may or may not be there. But if the top of the surface looks similar enough, as in identical, these lava tubes may or may not be present and we could inhabit the planet. So he'll show pictures left, Earth, right, Mars, which is which. And dude, all I know is they look identical to me.
This is what I think about what you just said.
Well, you saw the show, the show we were talking about earlier on Sam's show, and the possibilities that this guy was talking about. First of all, we can all agree that fucking the moon footage and shit was absolutely fake. But why? This dude earlier was talking about Planet X and shit. We were talking about Planet X earlier. I don't know if it's Planet X. I don't know if some people think that there's aliens on the moon keeping us from going there. Some people think the Earth is flat. Some people think it's a hologram. I don't know. But why the fuck are they fucking lying so much?
This fucking rover looks like it's got old lawn furniture stuck on it.
Would you exactly, Corey? Would you even take? You wouldn't even take this thing to the grocery store.
What the fuck? And
I'm
did you
trying to
know
figure
that
out what some of
thing-
this shit is, and I can't.
Well, did you know that thing that you're looking at had a price tag of $60 million? I'm
It
not
makes out with the
exaggerating.
junked
I'm not
out back.
exaggerating. That's the
It's
official
that gold
NASA numbers.
tinfoil,
That-
dude. What's
$60
that
million
gold
for
tinfoil?
that shit.
I think
Yeah,
they got
look at-
grandma's
from-
dildo on the top of there. That's for grandma to ride that thing like nobody's business.
Where did they
Bum,
fit
bum,
this
bum.
thing in that little fucking capsule?
They fit two of them. Two of them.
It looks like the frame of an
The
old
fuck outta here with that
Jaguar or
shit.
something. Like it looks like the bottom frame of a Jaguar that they put lawn chairs on and then an umbrella upside down. This is bullshit. I'm calling bullshit.
Bullshit.
This whole moon, before you dig into it, the propaganda to prop up the whole moon fucking fairy tale is so strong that if you question it, you're like, oh yeah, man, you feel wrong because
dollars
of,
at work.
yeah, man. And then once you really, really start looking into it and all the inconsistencies, all the fuckery going on, like, oh, it's fucking obvious bullshit, man. No question in my mind. At one point, it was like 50-50. And I'm like 98.2% that we fucking made it, but it's so damn obvious, man. And for me, the reason why, and I think we discussed it when we did a show, Chris, is that in my opinion, it has more to do with what was going on in the 60s. You had JFK, Martin Luther King, Vietnam, RFK, all those high profile government fuckeries going along. And so what way
Huge.
to what way to give humanity, if you will, hope than to stage this bullshit story. And I think, you know, there's another line of thinking that maybe there was a legitimate intent into going to the moon, but after, you know, a few years, you know, 5-6 years, they figured out, yeah, this is not realistic at all. So let's just fucking fake it. You know what I'm saying?
Cosmonauts, Russia was throwing people up there, animals, dogs, everything was dying. Nothing could make it. And then the United States has like footage
on the first try.
First try.
Yeah. Oh,
nailed
that's
it
my
out of the
favorite
park.
picture.
Yeah.
Look at this shit, man.
It's the gold, dude, that gold tinfoil. If I can get my hands on that shit, I'm telling you guys, I'm happy.
bars.
And not only that, dude, you know, they recycled the same fucking backgrounds. You know what I'm saying? They couldn't even
the black background.
Yeah, with a couple of stars every once in a while.
Yeah.
I could do that on my phone.
How's your
And then
no
the shadows,
stars?
even the shadows too. In some of the pictures that you got shadows going one way, and then another object's got the shadows going an opposite way. Obvious sign that they're using lighting, you know, artificial lighting.
That's a great question there. What happened to the stars? Any direction they're pointing, there should be stars, right?
You would think.
Well, the official, if you look at the official answers for that, they say it has to do with photography. You know,
Shitty cameras. Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you zoom in, you can see there's like tape on this fucking thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Like
Dude,
these
that
panels are
duct
held
tape
together
lines
with
up.
tape.
That
Yeah.
duct tape is key.
Well, not only that, look at the top part. The seams aren't even matched up. Fake. They even fake like screws. It's all like they drew screws on. They didn't even use real fucking screws. It's a fucking mockery, bro. For anyone that claims to have legitimate critical thinking skills to look at this and pretend it's a real fucking thing.
You guys, okay, going back.
You know what I just noticed? No, I just noticed here, right here in the background, like the American flag is drooping. It's like hanging down. It's not fucking sticking out like it's supposed to be.
Right next to that big upside down umbrella or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
Is there wind on the moon? I don't know. Is it supposed to be?
There's no gravity, right?
Right.
No.
I mean, is there an atmosphere?
Well,
What's going on?
There's one video footage of one of the astronauts putting a flag down, and the flag is violently, like, the wind is pushing it, and it's like shoving it up his face. He's got to like tame it down. And that one, so in other ones, you know, NASA says, well, you know, with the unfurling of the flag, you know, it has a little bit of it's gonna budge a little bit. There's no climate on the moon or any of that shit. But that one they can't really explain, man, because the fucking flag is unfurling on his face. See if you can find that clip, man.
What's up, Wheezy? What's up with the first footprint on the moon being different than the footprint of the first suit that the man wore who went on the moon?
Yeah.
The first suits were totally smooth, and yet they're fucking like have like these lines on the footprint.
And not only that, what's up with them being able to do footprints on the moon, but their rocket ship can't leave any fucking imprint on its own? You know, something that weighs so much more than a person can't leave a mark, but the astronauts could leave footprints all over the fucking place.
Okay, I'm gonna drop a little bit of personal. This is bad.
Uh-oh.
This is the shit that gets me. This is why I am not like a CEO of a corporation or some bullshit. All right. I can't keep my damn mouth shut. And because there's so much bullshit everywhere. Okay. It's like I took down, when I was a fly fishing guide, I took down the last man on the moon. Camped with him 7 days. Dude, Nice guy. Looked like he'd been zapped a few too many times with like the Men in Black fucking dildo thing that flashes at you. And
The neuralizer.
the neuralizer, dude. Boom. And I requested so many questions, and he'd just look at me with this blank stare every time, this blank stare. And he said, I was preparing for future missions. And I said, but there were none. And he goes, exactly. What? I don't even know what that means.
The fact that all the moon missions were under fucking Nixon tells me everything I need to know.
Have any of you guys seen the video of Buzz Aldrin sitting with the children? And the little girl asked him, why you didn't go back to the moon? He's like, well, because we never did, or some shit like that. And she's just staring at him like, you see that?
And you know he was telling the truth, because right after that happened, like there was all kinds of like fact checkers on whether or not he actually meant what he said.
Well, and then
wonderful.
the creepy one is. Oh, go ahead. Legit.
Oh no, I'm just laughing.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, no, the creepy thing that Neil Armstrong says in front of Bill Clinton, you know, greater truth will be unveiled or some shit or something along those lines, but kind of like a weird cryptic message back in the early 90s. I can't remember exactly what he said, but
I don't know. And I
Sounds
heard,
like
what do you guys think about the supposed Antarctica message that Buzz Aldrin, when he went with those, who was it? A bunch of elite
Kerry.
people down, John Kerry and a bunch of others down to Antarctica. He
Pope?
said, the Pope, he's like, tweets something real quick. This is pure evil. We're all going to die or some shit, and then deletes it, supposedly. I don't know. It's kind of weird, though. You heard about that, Ryan?
Yep.
Yeah, so he goes down to with John Kerry. I don't know, what year was that? That was in like 2016, 17 or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, he goes down to Antarctica on this secret like expedition with a bunch of elite motherfuckers. And then when he gets down there, supposedly he puts up one quick tweet, this is pure evil, we're all gonna die, and then takes it down real quick. And it's like, I don't know.
Pope does the tweet.
So
If you
cool.
think the Pope
No,
is
it wasn't the
fucking
Pope.
weird-
No, it was Buzz Aldrin. Not the Pope.
Oh, okay.
Buzz Aldrin. Yeah,
Like the
yeah.
Pope isn't even pooping, let alone tweeting.
Hey, he went to
I don't know.
Antarctica.
If the shit was hitting the fan and we're all about to die, I ain't gonna be tweeting anything. So
I don't know.
You're about 30 years younger, you might be. You'd be like, OMG, guys, I'm so totally gonna die right now. Ew.
like totally.
Hey,
You know
according
that's what
to
it's
some high-level members of the government, there's demons flying around in the sky. It's not UFOs, and we just, we need to just let them fly around and do their thing, and leave them alone.
I'm really glad that Brian Murphy earlier mentioned expression of source, because it's so true. There are elements of the government that are literally weaponizing, I'm not going to say it, but maybe the Advanced Aerospace Weapons System Applications Program, not to bring it back to Skinwalker, but any expression of source is seen as something that should be shot down, no pun intended, and controlled. And the last thing that our government wants is a trickster of sorts, a god with a small g that can fly in, fly out, do whatever it wants, take a crap on your forehead, and come back next week. Like, this is what's happening. And it's doing it. They cannot catch it. They pretend they can. They can't. And this is really crazy, because the first program, which can get everybody in a lot of trouble if it wasn't for like Ralph Blumenthal and Leslie Kean coming out with that amazing New York Times article explaining that it was like the let me go back. It started as one thing, went to another, Advanced Aerospace Threat Identification Program. And then it quickly went to the Advanced Aerospace Weapon System Applications Program. So it just goes to show, it's like, quick, what is it? I don't know, shoot it down, right? Like really quick, these things amplified. Are there bad things out there? Probably, but you would think that they would have taken us out a long time ago.
I've heard from high-level personal sources that Lou Elizondo's even flipped and thinks this is some kind of weird metaphysical phenomenon that we shouldn't be messing with. And he's been, talking to private sources about, like, yeah, this is totally spiritual shit, and this is not what everybody thinks it is. So that's kind of fucking weird.
He seems a little sketch.
He
Like,
does.
he's too much of an
but
insider.
he's flip flopped. He's gone from nuts and bolts. I'm fucking military 3-letter agency guy to go and do these spiritual weird interviews, and it's like, I don't know, are you trying to lead us in the wrong direction spiritually, or are you trying to lead us in the wrong direction with the fucking UFO stuff? Make up your mind. There's a lot of
just remember
misinfo.
that his actual position is disinformation agent. That's his
for
position.
sure.
Yeah. He's
Yeah,
doing
I
a really good job.
I don't trust him freaking one bit, but
And see, like, he went on. I remember when they had that video of the TR-3Bs that was like all green, right? And he came out.
Yeah.
And he was like, "See these ships?" It's like, motherfucker, you know that we built those. You know, How does he not know that? And if he doesn't know that, we shouldn't be listening to him anyway.
Well, think about it like this: how many different messages have been out there? Between the UFO community. Like, I used to go to beforeitsnews.com a lot back in the day, and just get on there and look at all the crazy shit that people would post. And 90% of it was just absolutely insane, but there was definitely some stuff in there. You're like, maybe there's some truth to this. But I think that habit got me a little more skeptical of everything, that I saw, just because I'm like, and then I realized mainstream news, like, you probably have more truth on Before It's News than you do CNN or any mainstream news, honestly. So that's kind of,
and like all the conflicting information just reminds me of the old propaganda doctrines, to release a welter of contradictory reports to keep them confused and bewildered as to our plans and intentions, straight from the OSS 1942. Not much has changed.
Amen,
and with
brother.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. No, amen. And it's about almost April now, where we all have to like line up and cut off a pound of flesh to keep the masters happy for taxes. And we don't
stop paying that shit. Stop paying that shit.
We don't know where these taxes are going, man. Like, from what we understand, there's black budget. And then beyond that, there is a budget that is so dark that they don't even know where it goes.
See, my question about the black budget
$21 trillion and no one fucking bats an eye, bro.
You see, initially they funded all the black ops projects through the drug trade, right? I mean, you can trace the origins of all the cartels back to the CIA and the Galen organization, which they intentionally were, using to get around Congress and to raise funds for whatever fucking wars they wanted to fight. But I can't see that budget. What's the global drug trade worth? Like $100 billion a year? I can't see that being enough for them.
Man, I think it's worth a lot more than that. Fucking people love drugs, and that's a small number these days.
Very true.
I like drugs. Who doesn't like drugs?
Dude, that brings me to like the whole like ape, like the theory that man came from ape that found mushrooms. Is this actually okay? Coming back to space and the fact that mushrooms are one of the only things that can literally forward on to another planet without a craft. It can just blast off and float around for a few million years and land on another rock and get something else high. Like, what kind of Elysian space dust? Not only am I drinking it, but if we're made of this, if we literally, the Big Bang is true and we're literally just similar to the fungus, and we can like float around in our like coalesce into these weird genes and atoms and morph. Do you not think that something else has morphed prior to this point? Or possibly we are more, in my opinion, of a compartmentalized, I'm going to speak fairly Gnostically here. I think we're a compartmentalized situation, and that it's difficult to leave this Van Allen belt. Space travel is much more difficult than it is made to appear. That's just my 2 cents.
I'd agree with you for sure.
Yeah, I agree.
I'd say we probably can't do much more than go up to like low Earth orbit. And the space station is probably I'm pretty sure the space station's legit, but it really is not much of a feat when you see in scale how far off the surface of the Earth it is. It's like almost not at all. It's very fucking close. So it's even compared to like the moon, which is 270,000 miles away, and we can't get more than like 300 or 400. Yeah.
Well, what about interdimensional? I mean, maybe beyond flat Earth and all that stuff, if space isn't really what they're telling us, I mean, maybe a lot of this is different dimensions or different realms. Maybe you can mix the Saturnian, all the planets are different realms with everything else where different dimensions, that's some of the entities are coming from different dimensions, call them demons, call them whatever you want to call them. But, they're just all different entities from different dimensions, and it's not necessarily space.
I agree, Brian. I think these things are traveling in inner space. I don't think they're traveling in outer space. So I agree completely with what Brian, that direction that you're going, man. I think that any entity, ancient, artificial, alien technology, whatever you want to call it, a Baphomet of sorts, entities that are willing to take this burden upon them and actually analyze and weigh how things are going and jump in when they're needed and jump out when they're not. Who the heck knows what they're doing? Beyond my pay grade. But I think these things are traveling interstellarly, not outer space as we know it. Interstellar. Isn't that weird? It's like inner space, but they don't tell you that. It's always outer space. It's like outer space. You can only go so far because what the hell's out there? It doesn't seem that great. I mean,
I think
inside,
Inner Space. I think that movie with Martin Short.
Oh, that was such a good show.
Well, let me take this time to introduce everyone to our Lord and Savior, Cthulhu. He will be birthing forth very shortly when the 5G waves come on, and he will burst forth from all the vaccinated. So get ready, guys. He's coming. No, man, being a person that has recently had a very profound experience with other dimensional entities, I completely believe
Shout out
and
to the
have...
homie Laird.
No, not only Laird, bro. That reptilian fucked my world. I don't know if you listened to that part, but yes, I've recently been under attack, and it could have been under. I could have been on drugs. I could have been on a lot of mushrooms, but also it was a very profound experience. And I personally believe I've kissed the other side, and a reptilian tried to rape my bum hole, but
Damn.
yeah, man, it was rough. I barely escaped with my bunghole's life from that one. But I totally believe there's something.
The scales every time I pulled out.
Oh God, fuck. Anyway, yeah, there's totally something right on the other side that's trying to get in our bungholes every day.
How big does it have to be to cross dimensions? I mean, that's got to be a big reptilian dawn.
Yeah.
I like sausage.
I don't know. Are they scaly, or is it like kind of like a doggy lipstick type thing that kind of?
When I think of like other, entities or aliens, I'm like, well, what the fuck do they do in their downtime? Do they got weird, freaky sex shit? Do they like to watch
Yes,
the
they
Golden
do.
Girls on the weekends?
Hey!
Like, what the fuck do they do?
I think
No,
they
they
just
do.
rep the
It's
scale.
us.
I think they just rep the scales on the outside. They're more like a pangolin, like soft, what I mean.
Hey, they're totally into fucking freaky butt stuff, dude. I mean, what's with the anal probing? And I had a couple of people on the show that fucked aliens. So, apparently this stuff is going on. They are freaky deaky. They're just like you and me. They like.
Well,
to get it on.
don't all these religions have these gods that are coming down to fuck humans?
Right.
They
They want to fuck the Earth girls. That's what they're all about. They want to come and fuck the Earth women. That's what these aliens.
What's the
apparently.
point? What's the point of being in control if you don't get some perks? We notice this with politicians. You get so high, like, what's the point if there's no perks? They always fall for the cheesiest stuff, like, oh, I want to get rubbed by that girl, or I want to touch this one's tushy. They always go down like.
Did you just say tushy?
No, man.
My man. I know you're from Utah. You said tushy. Utah's in the motherfucking house.
That reminds me of the meme from Billy Madison. He called the shit poop. He called the ass tushy.
That's awesome, man.
But those are the kind of cats that they're targeting, man. We're targeting psychopaths that shouldn't be in positions of power, because there's no way anybody should get to that position of power unless you're completely psychopathic. And then the only way that they can sneak them, they kind of are tushy dudes, because the only way you can crack them, the only way to crack these nuts is to take them to Epstein Island and show them some creepy stuff. And it works. I mean, I don't know, man. Like, there's some weird
That's
stuff
the thing,
going
man.
on.
The world, in my opinion, is run by these sick bastards, man. These psychopaths. We in this group, we're regular folks. We see someone that needs help, we're gonna help them. Someone's broken down. I don't know about you guys, but I'm the kind of person that I'll stop by and help these people out. That's just in my nature. That's in my DNA. But when you look at these people that run the country, that run these nations, these motherfuckers are cold-blooded motherfuckers. They'll put a gun to your head, pull the trigger, and not even think twice. It's all about them. The only time you see them being sorry is when they get caught about shit, but they're really not sorry. These are heartless people that run this world, unfortunately. And that's, in my opinion, is why we're in the predicaments that we are in today. I kind of try to stay away from the woo-woo stuff, but that's just me personally, the way I look at it, man. I just think it's the human nature, man. We're all different. You can look at our pets, same thing, man. Even animals have their own traits. Not every, certain dogs will have certain traits. Others are more aggressive, others are more friendly. It's no different with us as people. You're gonna have real cool people. You're gonna have real fucking sick asshole people. And unfortunately, these assholes are the ones running this bitch.
So, Wheezy, for real, what would happen if, not that I think Musk is a puppet, but let's pretend that somebody else came in and just you start shooting out all this stuff about you're building a spaceship or whatever,
Yeah.
You find the gold aluminum foil or whatever, and you start doing this. How long until they shut you down? I think it'd be
no. Everything that we hear is done on purpose. If they don't want us to know about shit, we'll never know about shit. Like, even with these conspiracies that are legitimate, that even normies believe in, that have been declassified, how many of those crazy ass conspiracies are out there that we'll never even know about or have any clue about? I bet you there's a shit ton more. You know what I mean? When you look at how crazy some of the shit they did let us know about, like Operation Northwoods and Operation Paperclip and all that shit, think about all the shit that they never ever intend on letting us know about. So yeah, man, I don't think there's any one magical figure that will ever be enough to save this shit, man. All the stuff we see or hear about is the stuff they want us to know about, and it's all controlled out. I don't know. I think Corey's kind of along the same lines, right, Corey? Like, it's never, it's all on purpose, what they want us to know about.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%. So when we have events that occur, like, there's a large portion of them that are completely staged for the camera. Like, Kennedy opened my eyes to that big time. Kennedy, all the things that we know about Kennedy that have made it to the mainstream, all 100% prearranged, staged events.
Yeah.
All right, there's some silence.
What about
right
legit
now.
Batman? You guys been quiet?
Yeah, you look like you guys are bummed. Have you not seen any good penises today or something? What's going on? I don't know.
I have not.
So,
Your mic is quiet.
Oh, hang on.
cool.
There you go.
There
Thanks.
you go.
Yeah, how you guys doing?
Good. We had 3 shows today. David Icke was one of them.
Oh, you guys did David Icke. How was that, guys?
Awesome.
Congrats.
But we're not tired. We're not oh, sorry, we're not participating. We're just listening because we've been listening all day to everyone, and it's nice to hear different perspectives. And we've also taken in a lot of information. So.
Yeah, it's not that we're not participating. I'm just actively listening. You know what I mean?
I also do want to add that there's a part of me, I don't like to think this, but it's interesting to think that we could possibly be in some sort of cattle farm for intergalactic beings or aliens, whatever you want to say, where they just kind of pull us out and experiment on us. It's the same as how we treat our pets in a certain way. Like you were saying, Wheezy, yeah, our dogs, some of them are great, some of them aren't, but when some are good, some are bad, but we still take them to get spayed and neutered, and the same thing happens to them, and it's probably terrifying and traumatizing, and they don't know what to go back and say to their fellow dogs. Sometimes I think we do the same thing, or the people who've been abducted.
They're like,
don't
I
know.
used to have this thing hanging off my
Yeah.
back end, and now it's
Not
not
sure
there
what
anymore.
happened.
It's just this empty, flappy sack. I don't know what to think of it.
Where did it go? It was my best friend.
I think you
I used
guys
to
brought
love licking them.
you guys brought like some serious heat to the conversation because serious heat. We were kind of discussing a little bit about the Uinta Basin, and that kind of goes into cattle mutilations. And when you talk about pets, it's so true. I have a dog I love very much. And when it comes down to it, I'm like sitting there looking at his turds or, whatever. And I'm like, I could probably feed him steak every night, but
Are you inspired to write poetry as you ponder upon the turds?
Well, I have to clean them up. So the fine point is that I'm interested more in the turd I'm cleaning up than the dog itself at one point. And that's wrong. And that's just human nature. Imagine, so I'm like analyzing my dog's diet on cleanliness factors. Now just take that up like 1,000% from the farm mentality, what we are being governed by. And I completely agree. But getting down to the really quick excerpt about the mutilations in the cows, what they are finding on these cows, you hear all kinds of stuff. But what they're finding on these cows, according to many scientists, are prions, which have to do neurologically with the animal and how its well-being takes place. But there are essences, and I'll just call them essences, of the Orion Nebula on these prions.
What?
Oh, that's so weird.
Holy shit.
Next
All
up.
right.
How do you make that, Anthony? Anthony, how's it going, dude? Never
This
met you.
What's
is
happening?
Anthony. Well, okay, we have to announce Anthony. He has just joined us. If you're not aware, Anthony is a fascinating individual, and I think we should let Anthony introduce himself to everybody. How you doing, Anthony?
What's up, Chris?
What's up,
Great
man?
to see you, man. Well, great to see you, buddy. Hey,
Yeah.
congratulations, man, on my buddy was on your show, Rob Garthier. Yeah,
Yes.
that was a good podcast. I just watched it. Awesome.
For sure, man.
Hi, Ryan. Hey, Legit Bat Podcast. Hey, Wheezy.
Are you in Canada?
He
Yeah,
is.
man, I'm in Toronto.
I thought they
Canada.
put all you people in camps by now.
They did. I just got out of a camp. It's Friday night. Yeah.
All right.
They let you guys out on Friday.
That place is so fucked.
Totally, buddy. I'm telling you. I look forward to relocating to Florida. So, yeah.
Oh, hey, join Corey and Wheezy. They're both in the
Oh,
Florida
yeah, man.
area. For
I
sure.
mean, Fort Lauderdale's in my heart. Yeah, so eventually.
For
See, I
sure.
figure that like America isn't racist against white people, so they could just like walk through the forest or something to ditch all them border guards and all that stuff, right? Figured pretty fucking easy to sneak into America.
I'm just going to have to Google how to teleport to Florida and do it. I don't know.
Yes, for sure.
We'll see what happens. Yeah. What's up, Chris? How are you, man?
Man, I'm great. Anthony, how you doing?
All right, bro. Not bad at all. Just back from the trip, trying to adjust the
Awesome.
time and everything. Yeah, it's all right. Good to see you all tonight.
Yes,
I
good
thought
to
I'd
see
come in
you.
and say hi. I thought Ryder was here.
Ryder should have been here. I don't know where he's at.
Yeah?
He might show up later. I don't know.
He's
All
fondling
right.
some
Oh, he's got
aliens.
Yeah.
a show tonight.
Yeah,
Written by
he's got a
giants.
show. Yeah, he's got to chat with his people. But
Awesome.
Anthony, you have some very interesting abilities. If for those that have not seen Anthony on my show, he is what I consider to be one of the most genuine extraterrestrial channelers that I know. This gentleman is very fascinating. So if anybody wants to ask some questions to Anthony, he's got some pretty interesting answers for you tonight. So just saying.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I appreciate
Were you
the
able to
kind
walk
words, bro.
afterwards?
No, where are we going? Are
From
we
what?
going back to anal probing here? What are we talking?
Oh. I thought we could ask alien questions.
Sure,
That's an alien
yeah.
question.
We can ask anything.
No, anal
Just playing,
probing, man. That's not really done. I'm an extraterrestrial contactee, and I'm a channeler by a very powerful reptilian race, Theta Tauri race, which is fifth density war race. And over the years, I've asked them about the anal probing. Like, to us humans, we use that term, but honestly, I mean, this is just what I'm telling you. They don't do that. The Zeta Reticuli group doesn't do that. The reason why the whole anal sensation occurs is because they take samples of our stool to study what's in our foods and the amount of fluoride in the water and the amount of chemtrails or barium, strontium, and aluminum within that falls from the geoengineering. They want to see steroids in our food and preservatives and things of that sort. It has nothing to do with being sexual, because remember, Zeta Reticuli doesn't have sex. They reproduce by cloning, and their cloning process has failed. Hence, they started the hybrid races, 7 hybrid races. So Yael, Sasani, Pleiels. So the whole anal thing, I swear to you, it's not why it's done. It was done a long time ago, and that's just to study our stool. Yeah, but nothing to do with sex.
Kind of like
I don't
Ryan
like
Reynolds
sex.
with his dog.
Dude, exactly.
Hybrid races.
Yeah, man. No, Anthony, I'm right there with you, dude. Because like as fly fishing guides, when I worked as a fly fishing guide for a while, not all, but many guides will carry much similar to a bulb with water in it, literally insert it in the butthole of the fish, pull out the stool, find out what the fish is eating, and tie their flies according to that. So that's really interesting, man. But it's weird that everybody goes to that, that butthole thing. My biggest question to you, are these spiritual entities, or are we dealing with possible like technologies?
No, like they're not spiritual entities and they're not technologies. When it comes to AI programs or artificial intelligence infiltration and hijacking of humans and human channelers, well, they were doing it for a long time. That's not really what I'm referring to. So like the Zeta Reticuli group, technically on Earth, is called grays, or the short grays. There's 3 heights: short, mid, and tall. There's approximately 40 or so groups within the Zetas that are involved with humans. So they're the ones that were, as what we call them, negative ones. But again, the word negative is a human term. There's no such thing as a negative or positive extraterrestrial. There's just neutral. Not a single race is 100% positive, not a single race is 100% negative. So to answer your questions, it's kind of a big question, but it's not an AI program, and it is not anything spiritual, so extraterrestrial. So I don't want to use the word alien, it's kind of primitive, but the beings themselves are physical as you and I are. They bleed the way we do. They shit the way we do. They're just breatharians. They don't eat food. They feed off of light. They feed off of light, darkness, or air. And those are extraterrestrials or extra-dimensionals. The interdimensionals, it's all they're physical. It's just that they use technology to get to me and you. So they wouldn't be like getting in a ship somewhere from Venus to come to your house. No, they're just going to show up in your house by opening up a portal. That's interdimensional. They have technology. They're already here, really.
Did you
That's
say
when it
they
comes
shit
to
like us? Because if they shit like us, but they're not eating food and they're just breath and sun Aryans, what do they shit
I'm just,
like? Is it
just trying
like
to,
that?
It sounds like me. It sounds like me last weekend. All I did was drink beer, and I still shit. So I don't know.
The comment was just not that they poop and have a bowel movement. It's just that they act in the same way that we do. They have a different society. They breathe the way we do. They blink their eyes. They have 2 hearts. Some have 1 heart. Like they're just like you and I. And it depends which race you interact with or meet in a way, in a projected state or astral state or on their crafts. You'll be able to just see, right, like how they function. And they're just like you and I. They shake hands like you and I. They talk like you and I if they want to, which is kind of difficult for them. So telepathy is preferred, which they enable your telepathy for you during the time of the conversation to be able to project video segments and symbols, an entire story. Let's just say that you two are husband and wife, and the entity will ask you, give me your history. Well, you're not going to be explaining the whole history, how'd you guys meet and all the dates you went on. You can just give them that projection, the first kiss, first date, how did she make you feel, first time you made love, first time you had a child, and they'll understand that.
So that sounds like a neural implant to me.
No implant. No implants.
Natural.
It's just they prefer video segments versus our boring words, right? They find English or any other language really quite boring. It's too long for them. They're like, come on, man, hurry up. Like, tell me the answer. And here's us explaining it,
Hey, Anthony, what are your thoughts on the proliferation of government agents now? Before the government was averse to any UFO talk, alien shit. No, that shit doesn't exist. But the last few years they've been, they definitely exist. That to me has to be honest with you, has made me more skeptical on the whole thing because of the proliferation of these clowns. I don't trust anything they say. And so for them to now be putting that in the forefront has made me like, wait a minute, man. If you guys are pushing it now, I'm gonna have to take a step back. You know what I'm saying?